Whatever
Oh no, wait.
happens to
Here's
the
the one
saying
that's
that
making me crazy
Styles
in boxing.
make fights?
Oh, whoa. Here's the one in boxing I can't stand. He'll have to fight me. No, he won't. No, he won't. You don't keep winning, and he don't have to fight you. And the reality, even for Triple G, is they don't have to fight Triple G. They don't. They don't. They'll just go right around Triple G. You know why?
Uh,
Because Triple G is too good.
he's
We've
too
proved it.
good. He's
How is
too
Amir
old.
Khan getting another fucking fight? It's fucking news that Amir Khan might actually fight someone. Fuck Amir Khan. We bought into the Chris Algieri shit. Like where like how are these low-level moderate guys who should be fighting on ballroom cards? With all due respect, I'm sure Amir Khan is a great fighter. He is not an elite fighter. He doesn't deserve my money. He shouldn't be on HBO. He shouldn't be on Showtime. Unless you're talking about HBO Boxing After Dark or Showtime's Boxing After Dark
And
on a
it's an
Thursday night
undercard.
at 10 o'clock
Yeah. And it's an
or on an
undercard with the
undercard of a
rising
major
star.
fight.
Yeah.
He's not a superstar.
No, he's got one more fight. He's at that level where he's fighting that undefeated kid that they don't know if he's good yet or not. You put him on Amir Khan, he knocks him out, then he graduates to the next
Right,
level. That's what
right.
Amir Khan is in
And
today's
here's
world.
that formula played out. Robert Guerrero, if he stayed in his lane, would still be champion and still be doing a pretty good business up in the Bay Area, correct?
Yeah.
If Robert Guerrero had a belt, could he not indefinitely stay up in that Bay Area and fight and defend that title at a moderate level and keep raking in money? But he went for the
Chase
big
money.
payday. He went and swung for the fence. Then they squeezed one more fight, and now he's a shot fighter. He'd be lucky to fill a ballroom right now. And Robert Guerrero's better than that. Stay in your lane, people. Stay in your fucking lane.
And to be honest with you, even when they are making the good matchups, the matchups that we believe the boxing world wants to see, the numbers are not living up to it. And you could even throw for like a Frampton Santa Cruz matchup
Oh,
for the PBC.
and I know, and I can even tell you where it started. Okay, it started with Mora.
Lee,
Here's the
Lee,
here's the thing. Here's where it all started. We put guys like Mora on TV. We created a story, and we created a following for boxers, like for Sakio Baika, for
Peter
Mora,
Manfredo, Alfonso
right? Peter
Gomez.
Manfredo. They're average fucking fighters, and they're great guys. So why doesn't anybody pay attention and start telling me a story? Tell me about why I should care about Canelo Alvarez. Tell me that he's got, a bad streak. Make fucking build a Conor McGregor for God's sakes. Build a Chuck Liddell and a
But
legend.
it's more than yes, the story's missing, but Lee, the fights are missing, and then when we do get the fight, it's not living up to what we
No,
expect a
and here's
championship
why.
out to
And
be.
here's why. And here's why. Why is it that we're trying to put Amora in against a world champion? Why are we like why is everybody trying to go beyond their means? Like some fighters are just average fighters. Okay? Ward Gotti fighting anybody else in their
We're
division
missing
is not
Gotti's.
Ward.
We're missing Gotti. Great name. Remember him in
Okay,
New Jersey, Lee? What do you have? Like
wait.
14, 15
Smart guy.
sellouts in a row?
He is a regular guy fighting right at his level, fighting guys right at his level that were at his level, and that's how you get a Ward Gotti.
Rest in peace, man. Yeah, we are missing him too. We really are.
Okay?
You want to know who has the most views on HBO?
We don't miss the Ruelas
Google that,
brothers.
people.
Wait, let's go with something easy. The Ruelas brothers. Okay? Moderate champions, but they were in a division of a lot of very good fighters. Not elite fighters, but very good fighters.
And remember when Gabe was on the undercard of almost all of Don King's big fights? Remember when it was Gabriel Ruelas, Azuma Nelson, Jesse James Leja? Just awesome fights.
Jesse James
They weren't
Leja.
talking about fucking jabs.
No, they just defended their belts against guys who were in the top 10.
Remember
They
Michael Carbajal, Chiquita Gonzalez? You guys remember these?
Michael Carbajal is a perfect example. Okay,
That's a boxer.
Nobody listening to the show right now even knows who the fuck Michael Carbajal is.
There's a lot
Okay,
of them, I know.
you guys talk about Chocolito Gonzalez being the greatest lightweight fighter of all time. Let me help you out. Michael Carbajal in his prime was the Chacalito Gonzalez of his day.
The Ricardo Lopez. That's a boxer. That's what a boxer used to be. Jab, right hand, stick, move.
Try to knock the fucking guy out.
Yes. Not all this fucking, don't hit me. Here's a jab, I'm gone. Here's a jab, I'm gone.
You know what? When you went to a shitty Michael Carbajal fight, you know what I was guaranteed? He was going to thump that dude as quick as he could so he could get the fuck out of there.
Remember Evander Holyfield's fights? Just pick one. You could just throw out a name and it's a legendary fight. Evander gave it all. All of those fighters did. But they weren't, it wasn't this, it wasn't what we're watching today.
And I think that's what we're talking about here. Every fighter's worried about the next fight. Every fighter's worried about their next
fight. Buddy McGirt, Pernell Whitaker, great fight. That was an undercard.
By the way, I saw Buddy McGirt recently.
But did you see the quality of fight that them two gave? It wasn't jab, jab, jab. These dudes were throwing combos. Stevie Johnson, Sugar Shane, and the lightweights, they were throwing combos.
I don't want to be caught in the past, but I don't think that I'm ever going to see Castillo
versus Pryor.
I'm not going to see Castillo Corrales ever again.
Did they ever talk about a jab with the Hawk in that Alexis Aguero fight? Is there ever come on. Don't tell me that the shit is the same. It's not. I don't know what has to change, but we're losing fans.
I shouldn't know the name Julian Jackson.
Badass.
I don't think I should.
No.
I shouldn't. Should I?
Yes. Yes.
You know why? Because the guy fucking fought his guts out. Didn't matter.
They were chunking back in the day, Lee. It's always a great thing when you go back and watch the old tapes.
If anybody's
These guys used to fight, man.
If anybody's listening to this who's never seen Castillo Corrales, okay?
Yep.
Anything with Jose Luis Castillo, for God's sakes.
Yep.
Anything with Diego Corrales. They're all fucking events.
Go tell me Ike Corte De La Hoya is in a classic fight because what we're watching today. Pop in that fight and tell me that's not one of the best welterweight fights we've ever seen, and no one talks about it.
Let's go with the biggest legend in those weight classes. All right.
Matter of fact, in the 12th round, Lee, Jim Lampley even says it's Leonard Hearns revisited. When's the last time we heard Lampley say those words about a welterweight belt?
It should have been on Saturday night, 2 weeks ago. Should have been. Should have been. I saw a guy get knocked down on the mat, get up, and pull his ass back into a fight.
That was a classic fight.
And you know what I heard out of the commentating? I heard people fucking worried about what they were saying and how it would be perceived to the fans and worrying about affecting sponsors.
And I blame Sergey,
you know what?
And I blame John David Jackson.
Wait, and I'll give you a real simple thing. Harold Letterman, who I think is the most batshit crazy human being in his life, at least he's got a fucking opinion and doesn't care about his job. Because he does not toe the company line. He does not. By any stretch of the imagination.
How Sergey lost himself in that fight. Hey, look, at more credit to Ward for being able to bait him into that type of match, what it turned into after the second round, excuse me. John David Jackson, I still don't see you talking. I can't believe he had nothing to say in the corner. It was almost like if he was mad at Sergey or something, but every time the camera goes on him, he's doing nothing to motivate his fighter to get past Andre's jab, Andre's left hand. That was all they talked about that night. Right hands to the body. Excuse me. He did have the straight right hand to the body going. But Sergey, he lost that more than Andre won it. I'm telling you right now. Well, hopefully he changes it in the rematch.
Right. And
we don't know.
And here's the reality. I agree with the commentary by Roy. It's the same fight again.
Yeah.
In fact, he comes in as a bigger favorite this time because he's already cracked the code. And it's just like Mayweather. When you've got a fighter who's fought that long, that understands defensive boxing, that's it. It's about being a defensive boxer first. I mean, we can have arguments about this. Okay? Do we like fighters that are more aggressive to push their point, like a Triple G or a Kovalev? Or do we like guys that are actually using the rules to their advantage? The rules of boxing allow Ward to be Ward.
They need to fight more. They need to fight more. They need to stop worrying about their defeats and get in the fight. get into the fights with
No, they're
this.
worried about looking good so they can fight
Of
again.
course, that's what I'm worried about defeats. That's what I
Yeah,
just
no, I
said.
don't even. No, wait. I don't even think they care about defeats as much. I think they care
No,
about how they
no,
look in the
because they're
ring
not
to their
fighting.
next
They're
opponent.
not fighting. See, there's reasons why there was fighters back in the days that have 7, 8 losses and are still in
I
the Hall of
agree.
Fame and are
But
still.
how many times have we seen a fighter that we know can thunk an opponent, literally milking the fight out just so that they can land a triple G type fight so the next guy isn't afraid to take the fight? That's the reality of the sport. You can't look too good because you're not going to get the next fight.
That's what I'm saying needs to stop. Yes, I totally agree with you. We need to stop acting like one defeat is the end of a career and start matching talent against talent, because at the end of the day, styles make fights. It's not about losses, it's not about win streaks. If you know one guy is a top 5 fighter going up against another guy who's top 5, and I don't give a shit, you can say top 10 to top 10, you're gonna get a good quality fight. We're not doing enough of that. We're not. Back in the day, there is just a mix of everyone fighting everybody. There wasn't too many matchups that got through. Yeah, yes, some did. So one real fast everyone always talks about is like Leonard Pryor at 140, right? That fight didn't get made. Pryor was chasing him for a while. Look at how many other super fights Leonard gave us, though. So don't sit here and act like, oh, that one fight was everything to Leonard's career. No, it wasn't. He actually had way bigger fights if he went to 147, which he did. The names that are not fighting each other today is freaking ridiculous. The fact that Timothy Bradley, Juan Manuel Marquez, Manny Pacquiao have not faced any.
Whoa.
Wait, no, hold on.
Go ahead.
They have not faced any of the PBC fighters is ridiculous. Let's get on with this already. The new takes out the old. That's what happens. The fact that Danny Garcia has not fought Miguel Cotto at Madison Square Garden is ridiculous. The new takes out the old.
I'll do one better. Okay, our friend Billy Wright. He's undefeated for 10 years and knocking people out. He's too dangerous, even at his age.
Yeah.
The guy's in his mid to late 40s, right? There's no reason that you shouldn't sign this guy to a WBC top 10 eliminator.
Not when they signed 34 ranked Carlos freaking Molina.
Right. That's
There's
right.
so many styles that we have missed in the last 5-10 years.
You're not gonna get involved with a guy who with one punch can knock everybody out.
Especially when the champ blinks. Don't think that the matchmakers don't see Deontay flinching in the ring. People that have an IQ, people that watch, they're going to know, hey, that's a flaw. There's a flaw there. You don't want him facing someone with a huge right hand. He has a tendency to rely on his height more than his skill, and that's bad when you're fighting.
Jermaine shot your cuz Taylor, middleweight champion of the world. What was his biggest problem? He flinched. He blinked. He didn't like getting hit. He had a problem with guys that hit him in the face.
Yeah, for Deontay, I think he relies too much on his height. You know what I mean? Like he thinks, he's not going to land that punch.
Agree.
Yeah, he's like the biggest American heavyweight we've had in how long?
Right. He doesn't want to get hit. Same with Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe didn't like getting hit.
Still
he didn't.
Man. Hey, Riddick Bowe.
He was a bad man when he actually wanted to fight. But he only had to fight a couple of times, and once they get paid, it's all over.
Eating cakes. He said it himself.
You start eating fucking cake. It's all over. Where do we keep going down the list? Jermaine Taylor. Like you could say it all the way from welterweight all the way up. Triple G. I feel bad. He should fight Canelo.
I want to know where PBC is in the lawsuit. Seriously, we haven't had an update on the PBC lawsuit in a while. They've got one with Golden Boy. I want to know where that one's at. And we also have a lawsuit with the investors that the money where he's taking from. They're suing Al Heyman too. What happened to that? We need to know what's going to happen to the sport.
the reality is we're going to get more of the same for 2017.